One Piece chapter 1134, it is titled The Owl Library. We got a colored cover page of the Straw Hats riding on a gigantic mechanical Frankie with water guns, which looks absolutely stunning. This is to pay homage to Kazuki Yao, the Japanese voice actor of Frankie, who recently retired. Shout out to Oda for doing this once again. Thank you to Kazuki Yao for all your hard work, and I pray that you have a great retirement. Now let's get into the chapter. Luffy and the other Straw Hats, they are finally getting to meet Saul, which is something that I have been looking forward to ever since we found out that Saul was alive. The way that Luffy's introducing himself, I didn't realize it in my initial review, but it's similar, and I'd say it's identical to Jinbei's reintroduction during Wano when he joined the Straw Hats before the Wano raid. Was this necessary? Absolutely not, but personally, as a captain, even though that Luffy is not your typical leader in terms of intelligence, and we tend to see him more as a goofball, seeing him do stuff like this from time to time is cool, and it reminds us, yeah, Luffy, he's a capable captain. Back on Ohara, Saul mentioned how eventually Robin, she would find people that will want to be with her and are willing to protect her, and also with the crew getting closer to learning the truth of the world and gaining access to Lafto to get the One Piece, stronger people are going to try and prevent this from happening, constantly going after the crew. This was stated by Nekomamushi back on Zao, and Robin, she stated that she has strong friends that are willing to protect her, which is showcasing great growth from Enies Lobby. As she reiterates this point compared to how bashful and, well, I don't want to say embarrassed, but how proud the crew was at Zao, it switched into tears because of how emotional this sequence has been. Even though that Luffy and the crew got an introduction, it wasn't really needed because unless you are living under a rock, everyone knows who the Emperor Straw Hat Luffy is and his crew, especially Saul being a former member of the Marine. Lilith goes and meets Saul, introducing herself as Vegapunk, where all of a sudden Jinbei brings out a container from the Sunny, to which Lilith explains that it's a perfect copy of Vegapunk and it was once used to visit Elbaf 20 years ago. Am I surprised? Absolutely not, because Vegapunk, we saw how he was able to split himself and his personalities through the different satellites. Am I upset? Abso-freaking-lutely, because Oda already brought the different satellites back to life and he already had Lilith, so what's the point in bringing back Vegapunk? Now, I'm not one of these fans that thinks that this takes away from Kizaru's moment, because it doesn't. As of now, he believes that he killed Vegapunk, which he did. So it doesn't take away from that emotion and just the pain that Kizaru felt. But I also never like it when Oda brings back characters I would prefer for the most part for them to be dead. But that's just how One Piece is. It's no point in getting mad since we already know what Oda does. I will say I'm not going to give him a scapegoat. I am a firm believer that you can still criticize stuff like this. One thing I am excited to see is that Lilith is going to establish a new laboratory at Elbaph so she can awaken this Vegapunk, and then they're going to try and cure Kuma. So that means that Kuma, Lilith, Vegapunk, and Bonnie are going to stay on Elbaph and not join the Straw Hats. We start getting introduced to other giants like Angie, who is the librarian and Saul's assistant, as well as a tour of the library, starting out with the Walrus School, which was established 20 years ago by King Harold's request. We see little giants running around chasing the Straw Hats, and this is like the third time that Zoro's asked, can he cut someone? You know my boy is itching to draw his blade this arc, and maybe with the reveal at the end of the chapter, it very well could happen. There was a question asked if the kids, they would be the future of Elbaf's warriors, where apparently it's now being taught that violence in war, that is old-fashioned according to Ripley, the biology teacher. And I got a question, who do you guys think is better, Jerd or Ripley? Let me know in the comments below if you want to know my answer. Yo boy, I'm picking Ripley for sure. But yeah, the legends of the Giants Pirates, that was over 100 years ago. They're no longer aggressive or about war. They now try to seek trade with other nations and not try to wage war based off of King Harold's belief. And because of this, people disagreeing like Loki, who technically should have the right to be the next king, but since that whole incident happened, people don't acknowledge him, and there's currently not a king on the throne, and and this kind of confused me a little bit because technically Haruden is older, so technically shouldn't he be the one that's the next king? But that's enough of the history lesson. Before we cut to the library, we also got Ripley that mentioned how since she is one of the last people that was a part of Elbaf when the warriors were around and, you know, plundering and all of that, she was waiting and itching to see Luffy in his white form because it represents the legendary warrior from Elbaf's fables, which is Sun God Nika. We entered the Owl Library, and apparently any books that gets brought there are gigantified, and all the books that are rescued from Ohara are found here. It's really beautiful how all the hard work those scholars that they got to do, it's not in vain because all of the books are now here. And I don't want to necessarily be a negative Nancy, but technically with how long the books were submerged in the water, a lot of them shouldn't be able to be read. But like I said, I don't want to be negative, and also it's fiction. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. Loki is talking to someone via transponder still, who apparently he's talked to several times, but they've never seen each other's faces. The mysterious individual talks about there was a moment where he experienced true fear, and even today, every time he thinks about it, he can't stop trembling. And this is where Loki claims if he was there, he would have turned that place upside down, run ragged, and slaughtered everyone. And this has me wondering what event it was. If I had to necessarily throw something out there, maybe God Valley, because that, you know, a lot of people talk about it like it was hell, and with everybody there, I could understand why. But the mysterious person ends up bringing up how Loki, deep down, he is kind, which reinforced my theory that Loki, he may have been framed for killing King Harald, and he's not actually a bad guy. The chapter ends with what appears to be Conqueror's lightning, and two cloaked individuals appeared at Elbaf, being summoned similar to the Gorosei at Egghead. One is a woman who we have no clue who she is, and the other one looks exactly like Shanks. The Shanks evil twin theory is gaining even more traction. I might do a video about it, I'm not sure, but the reason why, well, I guess especially this arc, why a lot of people believe that this is Shanks' twin is because in Norse mythology, Hades and Skull are two brothers that chases the sun and moon, which in this sense, Shanks is chasing Blackbeard, and the Bizarro Shanks will be chasing Luffy. They could be the son of Garland, who has the Fenrir fruit, which in Norse mythology, the Fenrir is the father of Hades and Skull, which would then provide a little bit more clarification as to whom Garland was referring to during the God Valley flashback. Like I said, I may do an in-depth video about it, but that's just the abridged version of how these two could be connected, and also the genius of introducing him at Elbaf. The reason why this individual probably isn't Shanks is number one, he just left Elbaf, and number two, he was last seen at Gartel dealing with Bartolomeo. As for the woman, I have no clue who she is. I've seen some people say that it could potentially be Ginny, which to me that doesn't make any sense because she was buried at the Sorbet Kingdom. I've also seen Kawino, and I don't know why I don't see that one either. If I had to guess, these two people are probably members of the Holy Knights, hence why Saturn didn't let the Marines go after the Straw Hats in chapter 1125. But that's it for chapter 1134. We are going to be on breaks because of the new year, so I hope you guys get to enjoy it with the holidays with your friends and family. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.